Ever felt like you've built something amazing, something that could genuinely make someone's life easier, but you're stuck wondering how to share it with the world? Like, you've poured your heart and soul into creating this incredible grid app, a productivity powerhouse, a collaborative marvel, or maybe even a fun little tool, and now you're just staring at it on your screen, wondering, how do I get this into the hands of others? It's a common frustration, right? You've navigated the complexities of development, wrestled with APIs, and finally, you've got this shining gem of an app. But the journey doesn't end with creation. Sharing it, getting it out there, that's where the real impact happens. And let's be honest, sometimes the sharing process feels like navigating a maze blindfolded. We've all been there. You've sent a link, but it doesn't work. Or you've tried explaining the installation process, and it just leads to a confused look. Or maybe you're dealing with different operating systems, permissions, and all those technical hurdles that seem designed to test your patience. Today, we're going to demystify this process. We're going to break down the steps, explore the options, and equip you with the knowledge you need to share your grid app with confidence. Whether you're aiming for a small team, a group of friends, or a global audience, we'll cover the essential strategies to get your app out there smoothly and efficiently. Before we dive into the technical details, let's consider the why. Why are you sharing your app? Is it for collaboration? Is it a tool to solve a specific problem? Is it a portfolio piece? Understanding your purpose will guide your sharing strategy. If you're sharing for collaboration, you'll need robust access control and version management. If it's for public use, you'll need to consider distribution platforms and user support. Now, let's get practical. The first and most straightforward method is often direct sharing. This is ideal for smaller groups or when you need to share a beta version for testing. If your grid app is web-based, this is relatively simple. You can share the URL directly. However, ensure that your server is configured for public access and that your app is responsive and works across different browsers. You might also want to consider setting up a custom domain for a more professional look. For desktop applications, the process is slightly more involved. You'll need to package your app into an executable file. This process varies depending on the operating system. For Windows, you can use tools like InnoSetup or saas to create an installer. This will bundle your application files into a single executable, making it easy for users to install. Consider signing your installer with a code signing certificate to build trust and avoid security warnings. For macOS, you can use Xcode to create a .dmg or .package installer. Apple's notarization process is crucial for macOS applications. This ensures that your app is scanned for malware and meets Apple's security standards. For Linux, you can create deb or .rpm packages, depending on the distribution. You can also distribute your app as an app image, which is a self-contained executable that runs on most Linux distributions. If your grid app is a mobile application, you'll need to distribute it through app stores like the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. This involves creating developer accounts, complying with App Store guidelines, and going through a review process. For the Apple App Store, you'll need an Apple developer account. You'll need to create app IDs, provisioning profiles, and build your app using Xcode. Apple's review process can be rigorous, so ensure your app meets all guidelines. For the Google Play Store, you'll need a Google Play developer account. You can upload your app as an .apk or .ob file. Google also has guidelines and review processes, though they tend to be less stringent than Apple's. Beyond direct sharing and App Store distribution, consider using cloud platforms for hosting and sharing your grid app. Cloud platforms like AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure offer robust infrastructure and scalability. They provide tools for deploying, managing, and scaling your applications. This is particularly useful for web-based applications or applications that require significant computing resources. Version control is another crucial aspect of sharing your app. Tools like Git and platforms like GitHub and GitLab allow you to manage your codebase, track changes, and collaborate with others. This is essential for collaborative projects or when you need to maintain different versions of your app. Documentation is often overlooked, but it's vital for a smooth sharing experience. Create clear and concise documentation that explains how to install, use, and troubleshoot your app. Include screenshots, videos, and step-by-step instructions. Good documentation reduces support requests and improves user satisfaction. Consider creating a landing page for your app. This page should provide information about your app, its features, and how to download or access it. Include screenshots, videos, and testimonials to showcase your app's value. For marketing and promotion, leverage social media platforms, online forums, and relevant communities. Share your app on platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn, and Reddit. Create engaging content that highlights your app's benefits and features. If you're targeting a specific audience, consider reaching out to influencers or bloggers in your niche. Offer them early access to your app and ask for reviews or testimonials. Building a community around your app can also be beneficial. Create a forum or a Discord server where users can ask questions, provide feedback, and share their experiences. This fosters a sense of belonging and encourages user engagement. When dealing with feedback, be open and responsive. Listen to user feedback and address any issues or bugs promptly. This shows that you value your users and are committed to improving your app. Accessibility is another critical consideration. Ensure that your app is accessible to users with disabilities. Follow accessibility guidelines and test your app with assistive technologies. Security is paramount. Implement robust security measures to protect user data and prevent unauthorized access. Use secure coding practices, encrypt sensitive data, and regularly update your app to patch security vulnerabilities. Licensing is another important aspect. Choose a license that aligns with your goals. If you want to allow others to modify and distribute your app, consider an open-source license like MIT or GPL. If you want to retain full control over your app, consider a proprietary license. Finally, remember that sharing your app is an iterative process. You'll learn and adapt as you go. Don't be afraid to experiment with different strategies and find what works best for you. Sharing your Grid app shouldn't be a daunting task. With the right tools, strategies, and mindset, you can get your app into the hands of others and make a real impact. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.